My name's Danny Diliberto, founder of Ladles of Love. It was founded back in 2014. Communities we work with are all over the peninsula, and we're working with 138 beneficiaries now. We've grown exponentially. We've been able to do that because of all the kindness that we have experienced from individuals and corporates such as Interbet, who just want to be part of the change.
Welcome back. It's time now to talk about the sixth race 6 of 8 for Sunday, and it's a competitive race. I think it's a fairly competitive race. There's a lovely up-and-coming progressive 3-year-old that we'll talk about in a moment. There's some hard-knocking 4-5-year-olds. So an interesting race, but it is a 76 handicap over 1,800 meters, 1,800 meters. 25 to 4 is the off time. There's a lot to enjoy here. There's a rerun of Don't Touch Me. There's a rerun of Arumagam. And there's interviews with Nicolette Roscoe and Peter Muscat. Enjoy this package.
Come to the last 200 meters. Don't Touch Me. Airways Law's a big runner on the inside. Forest Jump's also trying to make a race of it. Airways Law, though, comes cruising into the lead. And it's Airways Law going on for the victory and wins well. Second, Don't Touch Me, Forest Jump, and then came Hat and All. Ancient States there. Tiger Tank at the 300-meter marker from Secret Giver. Rumigan can't get through. Rumigan's now seen daylight at the 200. Ancient States running on. But Rumigan, as soon as he found daylight, that's it. Bullseye. Rumigan races away. Tiger Tang second, Smart William I think third in photos, then came Secret Giver.
Yeah, look, the only disadvantage is he doesn't really like the poly, and unfortunately we're very limited to grass at the moment. We're at Greyville and Maritzburg's got the spring treatment, so where we can we have to run him. He's well, but on the day we'll have to see, because he doesn't perform the best on the poly.
Arumagam won very well at his last start, that was making it 2 in a row. I don't normally back them up this quickly, but he's in a good space, and if we wait until November, his weight for age allowance reduces. So we've capitalised on that. He's in a very good space. You probably know better than I do that it's very difficult for any horse to win 3 in a row. But he's very well. He's a fit, happy horse. Has an awkward draw to contend with, but he's doing things right in his races now, and it's not impossible that he can win again. He's very well.
Yeah, interesting thoughts, Sheldon, from Peter Muscat, Stephen Chetty's horse, number 9, Arumagam, and yeah, he's certainly going about it the right way. You know, he beat Young Nelson, he beat Tiger Tank. Many might argue, well, you know, those fields weren't great and those aren't great horses, but he was the fastest finishing. You called that race. He had to switch. He got bulked for a bit of a stride or two. I'm finding this race hard to assess. Obviously, I do like a bit of Don't Touch Me. I think his form is solid of late. Captain Pride, you like the Bayou Predator, but you take us through it, because I find it quite tough.
Yes, I think it's one of those races where Stephen Chetty, it's got a lot of sentiment to him. Arumagam.
Yes.
And then chatting to the locals, Arumagam, that was in the 80s. So obviously I think it's named after his father or something to do with the family there. So Arumagam, we'll go with Arumagam. 54 on the back. And looking at Tristan Godden, that last run, well, the replay was self-explanatory. He was caught in that pocket, and when he got out, he really lengthened. He is jumping up in class, but the way that he's gone through his latest victories indicates that he's a horse who's just needed a bit of time. They found his right distance, and everything seems to be going right for him. So it's hard to go against a horse that's on the improve, and with 54 on his back, we'll be giving him a good shout home. For me, the horse they have to beat, there's 2 horses, Captain Pride number 3 and number 5, Don't Touch Me. I know you'll touch on number 5, Don't Touch Me, another strapping individual. He's a 4-year-old. And then number 3, Captain Pride. Although they say he's not as good on the poly, the record in black and white says he's won 3 of his 4 on the poly. But he's a 7-year-old. A lot of these horses, they're running on their older legs now, so they're coming towards the end of their career. But at best, he was a 95. He's running off a 75, so 20 points off his best achieved rating. I'm going to lean narrowly with number 3, Cap'n Pride. His last run was in a merit rated 90. He's got the draw. He never moves to the gate well. He goes down, he gets a nice warm-up. That's his customary style. He's notched up 4 wins. So I think number 3, Cap'n Pride, from number 9, Aramagam. Those will be my top 2, and then you can tell us about Don't Touch Me.
It was a pleasure interviewing Stephen Chetty the other day, and he taught us a lot about the pronunciation of this horse, and we wish him well and we thank him, and we'll get our pronunciations right. And yeah, very sentimental horse to him. He's a good-looking son of Duke of Marmalade, is Aramagam, and he certainly could make it 3 in a row. Cap'n Pride, that's why we do the show, ladies and gentlemen, to talk to one another and to bounce ideas off each other, to help you and to help ourselves, because I didn't really give Cap'n Pride much thought. But now that Sheldon's told us why, I'm going to include Cap'n Pride in absolutely everything. Back to Don't Touch Me before we wrap. This horse Airways Law, that rerun we saw, I remember talking to Byron on that occasion, and he told me that, I think he did the interviews for Understarters Orders, and he said that the horse could win or it couldn't run a place. First time out the maidens, they were going to see where they were, but they thought he was quite a progressive type, and judged by that win, he certainly is a progressive type. So if it wasn't for Airways Law, Don't Touch Me would have been a winner. His form lines are working out well. He's in a good space, and he's on my shortlist as he is on yours. So an interesting race, but just 2 horses I want to ask you about, Sheldon, before we wrap up the 6th race, is 1, the Bayou, and 8, Predator. How do you, yes, one's a 7-year-old, the other's a 5-year-old. What do you make of their chances?
Number 1, the Bayou. He's another runner who he raced off a 90 at one stage. He's come down to a 76. And I managed to catch him right 4 runs back when he got up to beat, or he held on to beat Fire on the track. But the long run, he's cost me more than I've made out of him. So there's in his favour, he's drawn 1. He's got Anton Marcus. No surprise if he had to come and win. He's got the class to win a race of this nature. And for the pick 6 bet, you'd have to throw in number 1, the Bayou. So the Bayou you'd have to throw in. And then the other runner that you mentioned, number 8, Predator. I think he's a horse who could be in the money, but I'd be looking elsewhere for the win.
Okay, so race 6, Sheldon's shortlist for the 6th race: 3, Cap'n Pride, 5, Don't Touch Me, and 9, Aramagam. I've originally just went 5, Don't Touch Me, and 9, Aramagam, but I'm going to join Sheldon and include number 3, Cap'n Pride.